we have Miss Lydia Rose here. I love that name. I think I told you that. I love that name. And she is
I'll listen to it again. You can tell me again.
yes, she is the realistic esthetician, and she is based out of Virginia. And I just decided to interview her today because I believe that she is on fire. She is spicy. She doesn't hold back. She shares her opinions on everything in a very educated way. That's another thing I can definitely tell. You're not just yapping or reading out of some book. You know your stuff, right? And it shows. So I have her on this platform today because I am hoping she can rub off on a lot of viewers who may be scared that you're scared. You might hold back and you may think that there's no place for your opinion on the internet, and it very much so is. So let's go ahead and let Lydia have the floor and introduce herself and tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, friends. I'm Lydia Rose, as you may have heard. I'm based out of Northern Virginia, Ashburn, Virginia, to be specific. I have been licensed for almost exactly 4 years. On Halloween, I work in an independent woman, allowed to have fun, do whatever, all the freedom and everything. If you couldn't tell already, I am a Gemini, the Gemini glow, and I think that definitely takes part in my spiciness a little bit, but I have a passion for skincare because I've had to have a passion. I have eczema, acne, can't tell anymore, but I used to have a unibrow, so
Okay.
being an esthetician was in my destiny with everything that I have experienced, and I think that also gives me an edge with my content, with reaching out to people, because I have that personal experience and I want to educate people and make it realistic and easy for them.
And you do just that, and you do it exceptionally well.
Thank you.
We love watching from the sidelines, y'all. I found her on TikTok. That is where I first discovered Miss Lydia. And you just have to go watch her videos for yourself, and you will know exactly what I mean. Educated, she's spicy, she doesn't hold back. And again, you're very consistent. That's the marketing brain in me, where I'm like, always consistent. You're always on my feed, and I just love that. And this question is not on our list, but I mean, I am curious. How does your personality and how you show up online? Do clients come in and they talk about like your specific videos? Whenever you're servicing them, does anybody say anything about your videos, or do they just keep it separate? How does that? Is it awkward? How is that?
It is not awkward. For a little bit of background, before aesthetics, I was in the restaurant industry since I was 15. So I definitely I have the customer service voice, the customer service aura, but no, definitely getting more comfortable in this space has helped me so much with just branching out, flourishing, being myself. And of course, like during like first facial intakes, I ask them, I'm like, how'd you find me? And they say TikTok. And sometimes, well, not even sometimes, knowing what I post, I'm like, all right, I don't need to, y'all already know me, you know me, you've seen me, we're good, we're good. But it actually reflects with my regular clients, when like my clients that I've had, well, now for almost 4 years, they're like, I saw this video. What this video? Can you like what do you mean by this in this video? Like, my social media is fully tied to the business, to me in the treatment room. It has helped me so much in the treatment room, and it helps my clients when they're not with me as well. So it's not awkward. It's a key point of me being an esthetician and doing my work, whether it's online or in the treatment room.
Absolutely. And I'm pretty sure when they watch your videos again and again and again, they feel more comfortable with you, and they know what to expect, which
Yes.
is why it's so important to do what you do, because you build a rapport before people come in, or before they even think about booking you, right?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
All right. So the very first question, you don't shy away from calling out different TikTok skincare hacks, if you will. What is one of the biggest myths that and please, okay, if there's multiple, please feel free to list them all, that you just wish would just go away? Like, throw it in the trash. You want to stop hearing it. Tell us.
Sunscreen. The sunscreen causes cancer. this one is better than this one, you know, because I've trained under dermatologists and cosmetic chemists. I firmly believe we are all coworkers in the same space, so it's important to learn from them. And I learned, and ironically, I literally just uploaded a video about this, is that, you know, it's not true with all these studies. It's rats eating sunscreen. It's like, okay, you're not a rat. You don't eat sunscreen. Now what? And all that, and people, and I find a lot in the aesthetics industry is that it's always mineral versus chemical, and it's like, it's whatever you like, because with mineral sunscreens, it's a zinc pigment, so it's a white pigment. It's better for sensitive skin. This is the one that doesn't cause cancer. Okay. And a lot of people promote that sunscreen, and I have no issue with it. I wear mineral sunscreens because of eczema and acne, but as an esthetician, I can't responsibly say just mineral sunscreens, because then you're leaving out basically millions of people with a darker skin tone. It's like, I'm not going to recommend a sunscreen just because I like it a little bit better and it's going to leave a white cast on my darker skinned clients. Like, that is not fair. That's not inclusive, and that's not true.
Yeah.
So that is my main thing with all the sunscreen, and especially beyond the vanity. Okay, beyond the vanity part of wrinkles, whatever, we have a guaranteed thing here that is in front of us. You apply it and you reapply it, and it lowers your chances of cancer. And that is such a privilege. That is such an ease of the mind of, I just have to put this at the end of my skincare routine, and I've lowered my chances of certain types of cancers by 50% if I do this daily. Like, so I cannot stand the misinformation around sunscreen. I'm like, listen, I wish I was one of those rats eating the sunscreen, because that's how much I love sunscreen, okay? You can never, ever, no. The sunscreen misinformation, done, gone, out the door. I've had enough of it.
And there's so much of it. You know, you get to a point where you don't even know who to listen to. You don't know what to do.
Yes.
You'll see one video where someone is, you know, saying that it's going to cause cancer. So now you're like, well, should I stop wearing sunscreen? Mm-hmm. And then you see another video where someone's like, you have to wear sunscreen.
Yes.
If not, just throw your whole skincare routine in the trash, right? So the misinformation, it is definitely annoying to the average consumer. I mean, what do we do? You know, so
and that's my thing. I'm like, listen, I could go on a 20-minute scientific do, but or
we
it's
love
like,
it. We love it.
Or it's like, these people, listen, I was once not an esthetician. I was once watching the beauty YouTubers 2014, 2015 buy all these things, and I'm like, I have no clue where to start, what to do. So that's why I want to be like, here's the data. You can read it yourself. Here's the actual information. I'm not just also saying it. Here's other references. Put your sunscreen on. Like, that kind of thing. Because it just gets so confusing. It's so tiring.
It is. And it's almost like that, honestly, in the marketing space as well. And something that I always tell just people in general, find that one voice that you want to listen to, that you respect, that you actually get results from, and stick to that person. Because most of this, just being an esthetician, like skincare, all that stuff, and it's really the same thing with marketing, it's based off of experience. So you're listening to that one person's experience, and someone else may have a different experience. But when those experiences collide, that's when you start thinking, well, this is not working, or that's not working, or this is wrong, or that's wrong. So if you just find one person to listen to, I think that will solve most problems.
Exactly. And I'm not saying it has to be me, but if it is me for some people, thank you.
That's a little cherry on top.
Exactly.
So are there any other myths that you wish just go away, or was that just your biggest thorn in your side?
That is the biggest one, because this would be 2 hours long if I went through the entire list.
Okay, we'll save that for part 2.
And that's also on my TikTok as well. I always talk about it, so somehow, some way, I'm probably mad about something.
Okay. All right. So many estheticians and providers, they water themselves down online. They give very generic advice, or they even steal from other creators because they don't know how to be original. So what is your advice for someone who's scared to show their personality because they think that it will cost them clients, or high paying clients? That's the one I hear all the time.
Listen, I'm a theater kid. I've been weird. I've been a weirdo. I've been the loud one who has all these creative ideas, da da da, all that kind of stuff. And it's be weird but reasonable. Show your personality. That's the thing where, even right now, where you can go through and think mentally of the content creators you like, even outside of the beauty space. Which ones are you probably going to name? The ones that stand out, the ones that aren't cookie cutter. And that's how people are going to look at you, whether it is an esthetician, cosmetologist, marketing, etc. And, it takes a little bit. I'm not going to say I immediately turned the camera on and I was like up, ready, and at 'em. It takes a time to learn, but, you also learn a lot about yourself. When you do this, you learn how you like to talk, what you like to talk about, things that interest you. Like me, when I did go to college, I was a history major. Big jump. But then through my content, through posting and continuing to learn history, I combined them and created a little niche with that. So it's just like post. Your people cannot find you if you don't post.
I love that.
So it's one of those things where it's like, obviously be professional. There's certain things that you probably shouldn't say on camera, but post, your people will find you. It did not happen for me overnight. I have been doing content for probably 2.5 years at this point, and probably the last 6 months is when it really started taking off for me.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, yeah.
Where do you get your ideas from? I'm curious.
My brain.
Okay.
I wish if I could go, I can't even like open up my notes app right now, because my thing is like, if the idea comes in the shower, like, if I'm at the gas station, if I was taking a client and then they're inside the room changing and I'm outside, I'll type it down. I'm like, just type it down, try it out. You'll see what works, you see what doesn't, but if you don't try, you're not going to know. So literally, I just if I have the idea, I write it down, I perform it, and then I see how it performs online. If it doesn't work, okay, I tried. If it does, I do different versions of it.
Great. And do you have a lot of people who may reach out to you for advice on content creation, or you do? Okay.
Yes, I do.
So.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's sometimes like overwhelming in the best way of like, because to me, I'm just me in my brain, I'm some days it's very much imposter syndrome of like, over 30,000 people follow me. Like, what is happening here? Yeah. So when people ask me for advice, I very much have to like take myself back to like, okay, people do follow me for a reason. So I give them the exact same advice. And it's like, be yourself, because cookie cutter gets you lost. And everyone that has made a mark on your life is probably not cookie cutter either. So why would you be?
If you could teach every new client one thing about the realistic skin care expectations, what would that be? So basically your skincare expectations, what would that be?
I mean, it honestly perfectly ties into what we just talked about, is yourself. You have to learn about yourself. I say this specifically to my acne clients because I have dealt with cystic acne, especially like adult acne and everything, is that you should like yourself or be able to look in the mirror and not have so many negative thoughts at your worst and at your best. Because so many times, myself included, of course, whenever I have my hot takes, it's usually a point of self-reflection. I'm not innocent here. And it's like, you can get perfect skin. I can get you to the highest point. But if you don't change your mental mind state of, there is something I always like about myself. I can look in the mirror no matter what, whether I'm breaking out, I have new hyperpigmentation, there's something I can say that is beautiful about myself. You're not going to get to the point of the skin that you want, because you're always going to point out something you don't like, something's not good enough, everything. And one thing that I do harp on in my social media is mental health is skincare. You can, people have the most perfect routines, get facials monthly, but I can look at your skin and tell if you're not doing that great, that kind of thing. So it's so much of The realistic skincare expectations should be that you should be able to like yourself to some degree. Of course, we all have bad days. Can't say that we don't. You should be able to like yourself to some degree at any point of your skin journey. At any point, because that is going to make it so much better. That is going to make yourself feel better, and in turn, when you feel better, your skin is going to reflect it.
Absolutely.
You know, so that is just what I always preach. Like, your skin is your largest organ, but you also have your heart and your brain.
Yeah.
You know.
So at that point, I feel like now you're kind of tapping into therapy, being a therapist for your patients and your clients. And I know that has to be hard because everybody is just not there mentally, and they can come and they can get the surface level things changed, but if it's not clicking up here, then does this really matter? Because like you said, you're going to always point out something that is negative. So how do you, and again, off the list, but how do you balance that? How do you have those conversations with your clients to say, okay, well, I need you to have a little bit more confidence in yourself and your appearance, because what I'm doing is, it's just this, but it starts here. Like, have you had those conversations with them?
Yes, because I've been there. I've been to therapy. I've had mental health issues. I have gone through I've talked about on my TikTok page, PMDD. It is a menstrual disorder that basically reflects bipolar. So trust me, I've been in those cycles of, not having the best days. So especially like my teenage clients. I'm the youngest sibling, so I wasn't able to be an older sister. So with my teenage clients, I definitely get to be the older sister-esque, but any age range is like, you develop those personal relationships no matter what over time. But it is one of those things where I'm like, you need to take care of yourself. I want you to still do your skincare. That still matters, but journal. Don't be on your phone immediately. Unfollow celebrities if you're comparing yourself to them. Break the habit of looking in the mirror every single time you go into the bathroom. One of the best ones, especially for people who may pick their skin, when you go into the bathroom, set a timer on your phone. So you don't get stuck. You don't get stuck looking at it, like stretching and looking at your pores, everything, like it, once again, it comes from a place of knowing. I'm like, I'm going to make it easier for y'all. I had to do all of the struggle, but you don't have to, all of that. And even in my own physical practice of the facials, I make sure when I'm doing my skin consultations, like checking out the skin before, checking out the skin before I perform the facial, I make sure to point out one thing that I like about their skin. Even if it's pigment, they have acne, fine lines, you have a really great tone to your skin. Your skin looks great today. Your pores look smaller today. Your eyebrows look great. Your lashes are so long, except like I make sure to say that to someone, because even if they don't verbalize of like, wow, thank you, I know they're going to walk away and be like, an esthetician just said my eyelashes are good.
Exactly.
An esthetician just said that my brows look good. An esthetician just said I have like a great like tone to my skin. Like, oh my gosh. So I make sure to even drop those seeds myself, because sometimes it's in through one ear, out the other. So I have my ways of making sure people are taking care of themselves in a mental health way, but also providing to that as well.
Tell me, do you have, I know you do facials, but do you have, I don't know, a favorite type of facial or anything like that you do that you just love doing so much?
Because I wax eyebrows and I do like the lash lifts and I do like tinting for the brows and lashes.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, my favorite child changes all the time. That's why like the brand I mainly work with, SkinScript, they have like 1.2 trillion enzymes and masks and everything.
I'm familiar with SkinScript.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why like I can't really choose a favorite, because it's like every single facial I do is custom to whatever needs to happen that day. So honestly, like I'm gonna have a pageant answer. I'm not gonna be as spicy, is that I really don't have a favorite, because like every single client that I see, it's custom and I make it fun in my own way. So
okay, she pleads the fifth, people. She pleads the fifth. All right, so let's play a little game of keep it or trash it. And again, please elaborate if you will. Skin cycling. Let's start there.
Keep, because it's just a regular skincare routine. I feel like the skin cycling thing is just another name.
Is it a marketing term, basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, you should exfoliate every 2 nights. That's how you're supposed to do it. So it was definitely just like packaging it differently and selling it. So keep, technically.
Slugging.
Trash. I think it works for certain people, but it's not for everybody. The amount of clients that have come in and they're like, slugging ruined my skin. I'm like, yeah, because it wasn't for you. That kind of thing. And listen, half of my family is my dad grew up on a farm and everything, and what I knew from slugging is that you put that on cows and your feet. I don't know if anyone has family who has grew up poor on farms, but they were like, slugging, we just used to put that on cows' udders and call it a day,
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I just learned this word. I did an interview with another a nurse, or I think she was an esthetician maybe last week, and I'm like, I've never even heard of slugging. So she told me what it was, she broke it down, but what would make someone feel like they need to do that?
A lot of people have dry skin, and there's a difference between dry skin and dehydrated skin. So dry skin is lack of oil, and dehydrated skin is lack of water in the skin. And of course, if you're not an esthetician, you probably don't know the difference of the two. And slugging is basically like saran wrap on top of your face. So it's going to hold everything under, right? So a lot of people who may face dry skin, that's where it's usually needed because you have that lack of oil. But with dehydrated skin, when you have that saran wrap, whether it's Aquaphor, Vaseline, whatever have you, you're not creating that moisture and water that you need in your skin. So they're not going to see the results that they may want from this. And it may lead to breakouts if you slug over active acne and you have it on top of your face. It holds that against the face. And if you're not using the correct hydration products, you're basically just putting Aquaphor on top of your face and hoping for the best.
Oh, wow. All right. Let's definitely trash that. Dermaplaning at home.
I'm going to say keep it because it's not the worst one. Okay. It's one of those ones where like, I am not heartbroken if you tell me that you dermaplane at home. Because it is definitely one of those ones where it's like, you go get a professional dermaplane, you'll know the difference. But if you're just using those little tinkle razors at home, I have more things to worry about.
Okay. Now, this one is not really a keep it or trash it. It's more you just elaborate and let us know your thoughts. The retinoid versus the retinol confusion.
I can understand, but the thing is that it's an umbrella. So you have your retinoids, and it basically goes down in dilution. So you have your prescription tretinoin, and then you go to retinol, and retinol esters, retinaldehydes, etc. It's basically all within the same family. It's just whatever potency that you need. So
but the retinoid is an umbrella term.
It's basically yes. Exactly. So I can see the confusion, but that's when you have conversations with professionals.
Yes, and that's what we're doing here. Okay. At home microneedling device.
Trash.
I am seeing so many people ruin their skin.
It is. I mean, I think I literally just posted about this. We are so connected. It is one of those things. There's micro stamping, which you may see those small little vials. I like those better because it will literally only go to a certain depth. Those I can get down with. The pens where you can adjust the depth, it makes my skin crawl.
How are they even legally able to sell those on Amazon?
It's because there's certain ones that are FDA approved, but unfortunately with marketing, wholesale, the things people are just able to crank out, unfortunately the legalities have not made it a hard set. You must have a license. You must have a license to perform it on other people, but to perform it on yourself is where that gray area happens.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So don't microneedle at home because I have seen the damage done. And my thing is you can do it 10 times. It may work perfectly. It takes that 11th time to mess up your face so badly. So it's like people get cocky with it, and it's like, just stop, please, please.
Let's definitely toss that one in the trash, guys. Okay, so the viral TikTok mask, or the viral TikTok face mask, like, you know, and I'm guilty of this because before I got into this industry, I was that one that was in my bedroom or bathroom mixing up oatmeal, turmeric, milk, all the things. I would always put something on my face. My mom would ask me, "Am I crazy?" How do you feel about those type of things, like the egg whites and the cinnamon and etc., all that stuff?
Keep some, trash the others. Like, just my dad's half, and with my mom's half, they're Sicilian. So we put oatmeal on our face, olive oil, oats, the gentle stuff, understandable. When you get into really abrasive stuff like sugar scrubs, turmeric, homemade kojic acid stuff, that's where, you know.
Oh, that's what I should have asked you about, kojic acid, because I see that everywhere.
When it is formulated by a professional brand, yes. If you're making it in your kitchen, no. Because, you know, there's a reason why, and people go down like the natural route, which like I can understand in some aspects, but these things sold in stores are tested, formulated for most likely years, have to pass certain sales tests of potency, safety, etc. So it's one of those things where it's like, if it's the little stuff, like with eczema, raw oats is always something where I'm like, throw that in the bath, make a face mask out of it. That's something that can help. But when it's like, when you get more in depth, please just put it down. You're supposed to eat it, not put it on your face.
And go see a professional.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, the glass skin trend.
Trash, because it's just, everybody has texture. You get close enough and you can see stuff. I think it just sells a fantasy. I get it. It's marketing. It's an easy marketing term. It is something that catches the eye. Mm-hmm. But, you know, and so many, especially with teenagers, they're like, I want my skin to look like this. And I'm like, that's AI. So trash it. We want healthy skin, not glass skin. Yes.
Great. I like that answer. I really do. LED light mask.
Keep it. That is my holy grail. That is one of the treatments where, beyond a few contraindications, most of everybody can use it, especially since it's not something like a chemical peel, needling, whatever. It's something that can heal a lot of things: pigment, acne, eczema, fine lines, sagging skin. I get eczema around my mouth. I use my LED light every day, and it's helped me so much. So LED, okay. Yes.
Even the ones that you could just buy online, those are okay too? Or
there is certain brands, once again, not to always tie it back to me. I've posted about them, but of course, check out what dermatologists, estheticians, cosmetic chemists have to say with certain brands. There's safe ones to buy online, but check with them first, and then you're good to go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. SPF makeup versus actual SPF.
We're going to keep it, but we're going to apply our real SPF first and then our SPF makeup. We're not going to just use SPF makeup for our SPF, because SPF is dosage based. It's not the fact that you put just like a little pea size amount on and everything. You have to be applying the correct dosage, which I believe is 1/4 of a teaspoon. Okay. I should be remembering that accurate information, but that is easily Googleable. I'm so sorry if that was not the correct one.
Hey, I don't know. So now the people in the comments, maybe when I post this, they may correct you. But
please. It's the end of the day, so please, if I was wrong, correct me. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so we're gonna keep it because they have their places, but always apply your regular SPF first, and then your SPF makeup on top of it.
Okay. Yeah. Hyaluronic acid in everything.
I can't be mad at it. I'm going to keep it because hyaluronic acid, it's going to hydrate. What I don't like that's in everything is niacinamide. Niacinamide is, I cannot get rid of her. I swear, you check everything, it's like, what are you doing here? You know?
And why shouldn't that be included in everything?
Because niacinamide can actually create some reactivity with other people. My skin personally, I can handle it when it's in small percentages in skincare products, but a lot of people's skin doesn't agree with it. And then sometimes people can overuse niacinamide as well. It's an amazing antioxidant and ingredient when formulated correctly, but a lot of the times I've seen people just overuse niacinamide, and it's like, but why is it in everything? You know, so I'm not mad at hyaluronic acid because I think almost, I'm trying to look at skincare over here. Probably. I can pick this up. Literally, hyaluronic acid in here. So I'm not mad at hyaluronic acid because it's just going to hydrate and we can always use some hydration. But niacinamide, I don't know why she's in everything.
Okay. All right. Well, that was very fun. Thank you for, again, your expertise and your education.
Of course.
I'm pretty sure all the listeners will love it. Mainly, I have a lot of followers and subscribers between YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, that do the same thing that you do. So they're either going to love your advice or they're going to hate your advice.
Hey, I'm down with either.
I know, right? And look, I always say this, and because my clients say, well, what if we get a negative comment? Okay, well, the algorithm cannot tell the difference between a negative comment and a positive comment. A comment is a comment. It's engagement, right?
And guess what happens when you turn your phone off? Doesn't exist.
Exactly. I know that's right. I love that. But yeah, so let everybody know where they can find you, all platforms or anything that you want to let the people know.
Mm-hmm. So I am mainly on TikTok and Instagram, The Gemini Glow. It's going to be THEE Gemini Glow on TikTok and Instagram. Same exact way, no underscores, no periods, just regular.
Do you like one over the other platform?
Depends on the day, because the algorithm doesn't like me some days. And I'm like, because on TikTok, I'll have videos that pop off, and then the next week it's like, I can't crack 500 views. I know. So it depends on who's nicer.
Exactly. And you never know. You never know what side of the bed they're going to wake up on. So
exactly.
You just kind of got to do your thing, get in where you fit in. But this was great. Thank you again so much.
Thank you.
And you guys go follow Lydia, the Gemini Glow. Go follow her. I promise you will not be upset. You will love her content. You will binge watch it. And most importantly, you will just fall in love with her personality because she does not hold back.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.